Next, around this time of year, smog in Delhi usually becomes a big problem, but this year there might be some measures not previously seen. Officials are ready to impose a complete lockdown to fight worsening air pollution. Schools have already been closed for a week and civil servants have been ordered to work from home. Well, joining me now in Delhi is our correspondent, Rajini Vaidyanathan. Hi, Rajini, good to see you. So this seems, it's funny, this idea of lockdown, which just a couple of years ago would be absolutely draconian, we are now very used to because of COVID-19 and potentially on its way now for air pollution.
That's right, and many people here in Delhi have also been for a long time used to wearing face masks, not just for COVID, but to protect people from the dangerous, foul, filthy air that is outside. I mean, I'm lucky enough to be indoors at the moment, that there are so many people in this city who have to go outside for their work. Now, the levels of air pollution at the moment are lower than the last few days, but in the last couple of weeks, they were as high as 10 times the recommended limit, according to the World Health Organization. In particular, concern is over levels of what they call PM 2.5, and they're the tiny particles that you can breathe in and they can sort of stay lodged in your lungs. They can lead to respiratory illnesses and serious health conditions. And I mean, just telling you personally, Lewis, what it's like, it's one of those things that's a stealth thing here in Delhi. You sometimes feel you've got a really, really bad headache. You can taste a sort of metallic metallic sort of taste in your throat, and you do feel lightheaded at times, and it's there everywhere, and that's the concern. But I think the thing that really is one of the questions many people here in Delhi ask is, why isn't anything changing? This isn't the first time I've reported on this for BBC World, and it probably won't be the last.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing, isn't it? Because this was a court order, effectively a couple of days ago, wasn't it, saying something needs to be done here for the air quality index. Air quality is so bad. But some of the questions is, even if a lockdown does come in, what actual difference can it make in the long term?
It's probably worth reminding our viewers, Lewis, what people say is causing this deadly smog in the air. Now, this toxic smog, I should say. Now, there are a few factors that people say are to blame. Now, one of the main factors people say is the farmers in the neighbouring states who burn their crop stubble to clear their fields at the end of the year for a new season. And that can produce huge amounts of smoke. But officials here in Delhi say it's not just that, it's also the traffic fumes, industrial emissions, and people always talk about the fumes from Diwali fireworks in the aftermath from the festival of Diwali and other festivals that happen at this time of year. A lot of people argue and debate over what the causes are, but I think one of the ongoing challenges is what the solutions are. So you've got the Delhi government now saying that children should have online classes for the next week. You've also got civil servants, as you say, Lewis, being told to stay at home, and you've got some construction work that's been suspended for the next few days, but that isn't a long-term lasting solution. And there was a Supreme Court hearing at the weekend discussing this situation, and one official said that living in Delhi and breathing in this air is equivalent to smoking 20 cigarettes a day, and that applies to newborns as well. So that's how stark and serious this is. But the challenge is that we keep having these conversations, and many people here say, what is going to change?
Yeah, that's interesting. Rajini, can I be cheeky while I've got you here? Just wanted to get the reaction, I suppose, to COP26, of course, the big climate change summit just wrapped up here in the UK, in Glasgow. At the very last second, India accused of watering down the language in relation to coal and fossil fuels. What's the reaction to that been?
Well, you're saying that other countries are saying that India is accused of watering it down. But here in India, the reaction has been is that India has come back from the COP summit with a success story. That's what India's environment minister was saying in the wake of the summit. Now, for India, it's always been about balancing economic growth in the country with ensuring that environmental challenges are met at the same time. Now, the Indian government has promised to go net zero by 2070 and says says it is aggressively moving towards solar alternatives, but coal is still a very big part of the power equation here in India. Coal powers some 70% of the country's energy at the moment. So going from 70 to 0 is going to take time. And I think that's the narrative that the Indian side takes away from the COP summit. And Indian officials say we are doing things to try and turn towards cleaner sources of energy. But Indians also say, look at the West. You've been making promises for a long time, but you're nowhere near reducing or eliminating your fossil fuel use. So, look at your own issues and emissions before you start pointing the finger here. So it is a kind of different narrative, Lewis, with people here saying, actually, it's been a success when it comes to COP.
Interesting stuff. Great to talk to you. Thanks, Regina.